This is Craig Haugard with your Financial Issues Ag Update. Well, the monthly USDA supply and demand report comes out at high noon Eastern Time today. And while the market anticipates adjustments in the U.S. table, nothing overly bullish is expected. The USDA could adjust the export forecast and raise demand while saving a boost in ethanol usage for later. Yesterday's weekly export inspections certainly didn't offer a great deal of support. Weekly inspections came in at 30.2 million bushels and now lags last year's export inspections pace by 464 million bushels. U.S. corn is currently $4 per metric ton premium to Ukrainian corn delivered to China. As I record this, the overnight spot corn futures are trading down 1 cent. Soybean prices traded higher in hopes for improving demand for U.S. beans. Prices drew support from China's announcement that they would look to reduce current tariff rates on soybeans by the end of this week. Weekly export inspections were disappointing at 22.2 million bushels, but in the overnight trade, spot soybean futures are trading a penny higher. Wheat traded on the defensive yesterday without a lot of fresh supportive news. There seems to be enough routine business around to keep exports doing fairly well, despite the fact that China has reportedly been a big buyer of wheat from everybody but the U.S. recently. In the past few weeks, we've seen China purchase wheat from Canada, Australia, and France. Weekly export inspections came in at 19.2 million bushels, which was above the top end of trade expectations. And year-to-date, we are now running 66 million bushels ahead of last year's pace. In the overnight trade, Chicago is 3 cents lower, while Kansas City and Minneapolis are each trading down a half cent. Cotton futures work towards the top end of their recent range, with the March futures closing 44 points higher to settle at 68.19. In the overnight trade, we're seeing a continuation of that, with spot futures 31 cents higher as I record this. Livestock futures were generally softer yesterday. Live cattle futures were lower in all months, with the April contract finishing the day $1.12.5 lower. March feeder cattle, on the other hand, were 50 points higher, while the more deferred months closed lower. And lean hog futures turned in a negative performance, with the April futures closing down $1.17.5. Class 3 milk futures kicked off the new week with a negative performance. For the session, March futures closed 13 points lower to settle at $17.29. In the overnight trade, we have spot futures down an additional 7 points. Cash livestock markets were mixed. At the close, we had choice beef boxes $1.21 lower to close at $208.91. While selects were down, also settling at $203.70. Pork carcass values were a touch stronger as they finished the day 21 cents higher, closing at $65.02 per hundredweight. This has been Craig Haugard with your Financial Issues Ag Update. We'll be right back with more financial issues after this.